Hello, everybody, and I'm here to say, if you are a kid, stay the fuck away.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a read of Lyre. I'm your host, Will, and this is.
The boy she tells you not to worry about.
What? Oh, okay. I was so confused for a second before I understood what you meant. Anyway, last episode. We're not done with Audrius's fucking. Let's just get. Bike dodge. Bye, Kadaj. Oh. Pain. Anyway. The voice is very curt, and Adrius can tell he's angry, yet satisfied that he got his good outcome. He walks towards the exit, his tail carved between his legs. Guards quickly follow behind him. Once again, the room is occupied by only by Adrius, Liz, and the royal guards, with Leaf being the only one missing. Adrius sits unmoving on his throne, his chin resting on one hand as the other grips the arm of the throne. The guards stand at attention as the footsteps retreat into the distance, their bounding echoes dying out until the only sound is the scream of silence. There rebounds up and down the hall until even the hardened guards must shift in their armor just to dispel the lack of noise. King, however, stays as still as a marionette cut free from its strings. Bandits are such an obstacle for the foolish and fearless, are they not, Liz?
I suppose.
Adrius looks down upon his guards. Sir Taran, would you be so kind as to find one of the servants? Tell them to retrieve the headsman. They need to visit with the accused like they usually do. Give them solace and renew their faith, saving them from... Give them solace. Give them
Saving it from what, my king?
From your mother! Anyway, go back. Give them solace and renew their faith, saving them from their sins. Or maybe not, religion was never my expertise. Have it done either way. The Terran bows and strides out of the hall, their cape fluttering behind them. Adrius watches on with a dry look upon his face. Liz sits next to the throne, straight-faced and stoic, like a statue, yet her eyes tell a different story. Adrius can't be bothered, however. Two of you in the front can stay. The rest of you are dismissed. Guards turn on their heels and walk out the grand room, their armor clattering as they trail off. Only two of them stay standing in their place, still as statues. Liz rises from her seat and leaps through one of the doors behind the throne. It slams behind her with a loud thud. The room is drowned in silence once more. Does it? I heard nothing. Adrius closes his eyes and reclines into the throne. You were going to say something?
It's so quiet. No, I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say actually. Do you know where you're gonna say something, but then you instantly forget and you just
yes.
some weird ass sound?
Yes.
It just comes out of nowhere.
Yes. Nope, there is nothing that plays. Okay. Anyway, Adrius closes his eyes and reclines into the throne. His His chest feels heavy, but his mind is focused. Too focused to rest. Feels as if he's running without moving his body at all. And it stops. Suddenly, he's one with himself again. Or had he only left his true self behind? What in the system are you talking about?
Richter! Wait, was it Richter or Richter?
Richter.
Richter, hey.
Good fucking job. The dull, colorless winter light shining through the cell window hits my face, granting me the slightest feeling of life. I watch the rays of sunlight gently change direction as the sun slowly moves across the afternoon sun. Each ray bounces off of small puddles of water which lay about on the floor. Steam rises off of them and in thin clouds as the humidity of the cell clashes with the cold air drafting through the hard hole. Slow and natural movements like this only emphasize just how slow each day passes. Feels like I've been here for much longer than I actually have. The hours have slowly started to turn into days, and if I hadn't focused on it, I would have lost track of time. Of course, it's only been a fortnight, but the constant thought of what's to come and everything else that happened has been draining me mentally.
Fortnite?
Forked night.
Roll back. Fortnite.
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 Strangle you. Not to mention my physical appearance. I've had to remove most of my clothes at this point. It was bound to happen eventually. Constant fluctuation in temperature as day and night pass has done a number on my body, along with the humid hair rising deep from under the ground. At first, just wearing the coat and shoes was uncomfortable, but after a while the cold, damp shirt started to send chills all over my body. Taking it off left me vulnerable to all of the filth, but at least now my body isn't that constant battle with itself and the environment around it. All that's left on me is the pair of black breeches from that fateful night. And undergarments, of course. My lack of clothing is nothing compared to the appearance of my body. Tying back my hair was something I had abandoned a week ago. It mercilessly falls down past my shoulders, unkempt and damp and far from clean, and far from being able to say words. Having it
Far
down,
from being readable.
having it down like this makes it easier to dry it out in what little sunlight I get. My face feels oily, every last part of it covered in dust, dirt, and sweat. I will lie and say that my teeth were perfect before arriving in the circumstance, but as clean as I've tried to keep them, they still feel awful. I also lacked the tools to deal with my facial hair. It always grew fast, which was nice because I've been told in the past that I look good with a bit of a stubble. Now, I just wish this itchy mess was gone. I would try shaving it all off with that mirror shard hidden in the cell, but I'd either end up maiming my chin and upper lip or slitting my throat. Try to imagine the look on Atris's face as he and his guards walk down here to find me sprawled out on the floor in a puddle of my own blood. It's truly hard to imagine just how he would react. Then I think of what Lyre would do. I shake the thought out of my mind, not wanting to tell him such a tragic scenario. Along with all of this, as much as I feel I should be tired, I'm constantly wide awake. I can only sleep for a couple of hours before waking up again, my body refusing to go back to sleep. I'd be ashamed of myself for not handling this better, but it's a dungeon. It's not supposed to be pleasant in the slightest. Anybody would be worse off in this situation. Right now, the only thing I can look forward to is food and water. For the past couple of weeks, the second I hear a guard's footstep making their way up the tunnel, my stomach ties itself into a knot out of hunger. Food is bland, stale, and sickening at first, but over time it's gotten better. I guess anything tastes good when you're hungry. Each tray has a small bowl of gruel with a couple vegetables on the side, along with a thin piece of bread. Try to eat a tiny amount of vegetables first. I usually dislike vegetables, so eating them when my hunger is strongest helps. Hagrid told me this is good because if I eat the vegetables first, it should aid with the digestion of the rest. Sometimes there's even a dried piece of meat. Anytime there is, I'd like to savor it throughout the day. Even after all of that, it pales in comparison to the cup of water I get. It rests in my hand, only a small amount of it is left. I sit there, cross-legged on the ground, staring at the window as I cradle the cup between my fingers.
I trust you'll be done with your break soon.
Maybe that piece of glass wasn't that bad of an idea.
What? No.
The voice wakes me from my thoughts and I stand from the dirty ground. Yeah.
Meet me in the mind's eye when you're finished.
I take what's left in the cup and bring it to my mouth, dipping the contents back. Feeling the clean water wash over my tongue and down my throat feels like heaven. Never appreciated water this much until now. I managed to make it last all throughout the night and the rest of the morning. Standing up, I swapped straw and dirt from my rear as I go to sit on the slab of stone which I've come to call my bed. Where I'm about to go in, I can hear a little bit of conversation coming from up the tunnel. Picking a triker in the mind's eye feels like the best option around. No interruptions. Takes no time at all to calm my mind and I drift into the mind's eye. It's as colorful as ever.
Are you going to continue your training today?
I might be continuing to widen the gash that is in your chest. Why am I saying this?
Ooh, little baby schmerd.
Nice.
Ooh, little
Shut
man,
up.
6 is so big.
Shut up.
To
jump into sight with a startling flash, but I'm not bothered by it as much as I would have been a week ago. There's nothing else to do, and there's also no way to...
going to settings.
I was seeing if there was a way to make it so that the background wasn't as bright.
Oh.
See this
Maybe, what is it? It's called?
I'll darken
Make
it,
your
yes.
screen.
On the video, I'll darken it. And also do a silly little warning, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah! Anyway. I say this in a dry tone, which elicits a sigh from them. I've already counted all of the bricks on the walls. Do you remember how many there were?
1,100.
1,183! And there's 474 made from a different stone. I usually enjoy counting, but not like this. Training is driving me crazy, and anything I can do to take a break from it also drives me crazy! I'm in a constant battle with myself, while you pull my strings like a puppet. They roll their eyes at me and cross their arms, an annoyed expression appearing across their face with every word of my mouth. It only makes me more irritated.
The puppet controlling the puppet is not to blame.
What's that supposed to mean? Let out a sigh and disregard my question, asking one of me instead.
You don't want to train, do you?
Take a deep breath and try to calm myself down as I prepare a reply. I want to, but with each vision that yields no useful information, I grow more and more reluctant. I don't want to feel this way, but it can't be helped.
Your life could depend on it.
My life is so precious to you, then tell me who killed Raynar. Or tell the king yourself. I'm sure he'd love to hear it from you. There's a long and drawn-out silence from them. That was a joke, please don't lecture me again. They release a sardonic laugh. I'm being serious, though. I've been training without a single break for the past few days, and I feel as if I'm going insane. Never mind, I am going insane. 2 weeks of being in a dungeon is bad enough, but dragging my mind through endless strain and meaningless visions, all in the pursuit of single past memory is...
difficult.
It's maddening! And what if it doesn't even matter in the end?
You'll never know unless you learn what really happened.
No, that's not what I meant. Even if I do find out who killed him, It'll only give me a slight edge in an already botched trial. Not to mention the impossible situation I've been thrown into. I could toss as much proof as I wanted at Adrius and he still would kick me through the streets and throw rocks at me. And then kill me.
Have you really given up that easily?
Sigh and shake my head slowly. No. I'm just choosing to see things realistically. I'm not going to give up, because I know that if I did, I would never hear the end of it from you. I can't help but let out a soft chuckle, accompanied by a concerned face.
You're right. But another reason is that it's your only chance.
Quiet noises around me suddenly become thick and heavy as the swirls settle in. I've assumed it to be the only outcome so far. Do you think I could escape a death sentence, even if found guilty?
It's possible. Not likely, though. People have been put to death for less than killing a king.
Thanks, Tigrin.
What? I'm only seeing things realistically.
Again, very funny. I should probably go back. There's a short pause as the colorful mists slightly glide past our figures. They speak up, their voice filled with levity.
You really should continue your training, though. I can sense that you're getting better with each time you delve into the past.
Their words of encouragement are nice, but I can't help but feel their words don't ring true. The closer these visions get to the present, the harder it is to have them. It's like time is a road and a tree has fallen in the path. I hope you're right. Prefer to not have to do any last-minute investigating during the trial. Laugh at themselves, still wearing a face full of concern and guilt.
That would be preferable.
Give them a slight wave before taking my leave. They awkwardly raise a paw, and I see the slightest hint of a smile. Seeing this makes me think for a moment that there could be hope, as much as I doubt it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
A nice thought,
Bye-bye.
but one that brings me less joy with each hour that passes and every day that comes and goes. I pull myself out of the cavern, slowly bringing myself back in touch with my body. Hello. When I'm back, everything is the way it was before. The sun is still slowly sinking in the sky, and I can hear chatter coming from up the tunnel. I get up and walk over to the wall across from me and sit down, positioning myself in the sunlight. Once I'm comfortable, I prepare to dive into another vision as I've done before. As I sit there trying to concentrate, the noise stops and I hear footsteps coming in my direction. They sound like hooves. It's most likely Adrius coming back to aggravate me some more. I sit there with my eyes fixed on the wall in front of me, ready for him to round the corner wearing his classic face of disgust. Footsteps get heavier though, and I wonder if it really is Adrius. They're slow and sudden grand, like some banging rocks against the floor. Person steps in front of the barred off doorway, and I quickly realize that's definitely not a deer.
Hello.
Hi. Before me stands a large horse in a thick black coat. This is masked, and I can only see his large brown eyes as they peer at me from behind the hood. I've only ever seen horsemen outside in the village, but seeing one this close indoors allowed me to realize just how big they are. It's taller than Lyle and possibly even larger than Bjorn. It's firmly placed on his hip, but it's not how one would usually picture it. Unlike when Lyle would confidently place his paw on his hip, it almost looked like he's supporting himself. Like he had a hurt back and was applying pressure. Robes are ragged and loose, falling down around his broad shoulders and coming to an end at his waist. Golden medallion is placed around his neck. A golden medallion is placed around his thick neck and shines with the symbol of Tigran. The symbol I'm now too familiar with. The decoration looks old and bent. My eyes pen down and I notice the object in his hands. An axe larger than any I've ever seen. Handle is made of a long, gnarled piece of wood, and the blade is crescent-shaped. It gleams in the dim light and looks sharp enough to cut bone. The axe of an executioner. My heart drops into my stomach and my body begins shaking all over. Back myself up against the wall with a bit more, and I get that taste in the back of my throat that I usually get when I'm nervous. Why would he be down here? I didn't think I would be seeing him anytime soon, and if I did, it would mean the worst of me. Some sort of sick joke by Adrius. You're the executioner. He looks upon me again. His eyes old and sad. His golden eyes old and sad. It takes a moment to respond, but when he does, his voice is soft and gentle. It reminds me of Lyle's voice, but it's almost like a tone that a father would use to console their child.
Yes, I could recall that. Please, don't be frightened of me.
Voice travels through the space between the bars almost like a mist in the wind. For some reason, it's putting me at ease despite the current situation. Still, my curiosity proves stronger. What are you doing down here?
Visiting.
He reaches behind his back under his cloak and pulls out a thick, rusty ring full of keys. Each key is almost identical, with certain markings on them. He starts to quickly go through them. Visiting? What do you mean? Why would you want to visit me? He pauses for a moment, holding a key closer to his gaze, and then continuing.
It's not a matter of wanting to. It's expected of me.
Expected. Do all executioners do this? Unless he has a second job of being a turnkey, it doesn't make much sense. Although, as I listen to the jingling of his key ring, I start to wonder if that's actually a possibility. No, I would have seen him by now if that were the case. Unless I'm not the only prisoner in the dungeons. Finds the key he was looking for and sticks it in the lock. Just the key and the lock comes undone, the chain falling against the doorway with a loud clank. Putting one hoof through the doorway, he slips through and closes the bar door behind him with a loud thud that rings up the hall. I back up against the wall a bit more as they approach, scuffling my feet across the floor. Is this some sort of joke? Stops where he stands, still flicking slightly as he looks down at me with a perplexed gaze.
I'm not very good at jokes.
Then why are you down here? Did Adria send you? Sits down on my bed and looks at me with confusion and concern. Rests his axe against the great slab of rock, light shining off of it and casting a glare on my eye. I have to tilt my head slightly so I'm not being blinded.
I believe he did. But I would have come down here either way.
Why?
Because I have to.
Hunch over and hug my knees, keeping my eye on him. His eyes look like golden coins shining dimly behind his shrouded gaze.
Oh, yes. I've forgotten that you're not from here.
He looks me up and down for a moment.
They do things differently in Aaron.
Let my body relax a bit and reply, the words trapped in my throat. I don't know. I've never been imprisoned before. He takes a breath, then leans against the wall behind him. I just figured seeing you come down here only meant certain death.
That's not the case. I can assure you that I haven't come down here to kill you. I'm no butcher.
But you're the executioner. Leans forward with a jolt as his feet realize something important.
There are many misconceptions about people in my line of work. I think that in Erin, they do things a bit differently, but this applies to everyone.
As I slowly rock my body, I watch as he looks me in the eyes with his thoughtful gaze. Eye contact is something he seems to be very good at. A bit too good for my taste, as I find that it feels like he's staring into my soul. These misconceptions. What are you referring to?
We are merely tools of the just your. What does that mean?
Just
What
the
is what?
CR. Just the CR.
Just the CR. Just the
What
CR.
does that mean? Just TCR meaning. Woo! A high judicial officer in medieval England.
Oh, cool.
We are merely tools of the justiciar. The judge gave the sentence, and the headsman carries it out. Whether we wish to or not, it is done.
I don't see how this makes things better. It also doesn't explain why you're down here. The sentence hasn't been passed, let alone trial. My sentence hasn't been passed, let alone the trial.
Unlike the hooded strangers who only come out at the king's behest in Erin, I have other jobs. Used as a tool for death, my purpose is holier than most.
You're religious then?
As much as one can be in this time. However, it is unnecessary for me to tell on about that. Rattle about that. There will be a time to speak about it later. It is the duty of a headsman to bond with the accused and guide them to the path of acceptance, whether they're innocent or guilty.
You're here to bond with me.
5 centuries ago, men of the church might have come down here too.
Men of the church.
Yes. There were many of them from Driss who had come north with the word of God. And how King Rune turned them away when his own interest in religion was as strong as theirs.
Why would they visit prisoners, though?
They would come down here and try to convince the prisoner to confess their sinful acts. Show them illustrated scripts from the old tomes. Holy teachings and whatnot.
I sit up and rub my hands together out of nervousness. I look up at the shackles hanging off of the wall behind them. There are chains and clasps making my wrists feel uncomfortable just by looking at them. You're not here to do that, right?
No. That's not why I'm here. I don't care if you committed murder. It doesn't matter to me.
Why not?
Because it's not for me to decide. I am merely the axe. Nothing more.
Please explain your goal again. I'm getting a bit confused.
My goal is to help you come to terms with your future.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. Bye.
Okay, it's the end of the episode then.
Yep.